Hey everybody, thanks for joining. Today we will do an unboxing on my new TIG machine. This is an AC/DC TIG machine. I'm super happy to get a hold of this, but I just want to tell you guys, I'm very much a beginner. I'm a novice when it comes to this, but I'm excited to get to the AC portion. But anything I say might be relatively incorrect, so don't hold it against me. Now into the unboxing. Welcome back everybody. This is my new welder. I got really excited during the holidays, during the Black Friday sales, and I decided it was time to kind of upgrade from stainless steel welding to now aluminum welding. So I picked up this bad boy from Everlast. It is the 210EXT, and I'm super excited to open it up. And we're back. Ugh. A little bit harder than I thought. All right on top we have what appears to be a little bit of a cover for the machine. Super handy for these dirty environments. That one wrong. And why we're doing the unboxing is because I kind of forgot what came with it, so I ordered so long ago. So you get to learn what's inside with me. I believe that is just a nice industrial fake leather cover for the welder itself. Operating manual. I get to have fun reading that tonight so I can figure out how in the world to use this thing. We got a power plug here. Boxing seems to be relatively professional. Don't know how far it made it on the journey, but it does make it to me in one piece, so pretty happy with that. And with that being said, there is some plywood keeping everything safe. We have a little bit of a mystery in this box. Pretty heavy, so we'll kind of open that one up here in a second. All right, all that's left in the box is the welder itself. Wish me luck. Let's see what accessories came with it. First off, it looks like we have an assorted, gas lenses, and so it looks like a little tungsten in there, which I'm surprised to see. We'll have to check those out a little bit more advanced here in a second. Not one, but two welding hoses. More consumables. This one's definitely a bigger torch than I'm used to. Comes with the toggle switch for hand controls on there. I think this one is relatively more the size I'm used to. I think this one is a 25 and this one's an 18 or 17. Again, more consumables. Give you quite a bit to get started here. Yep, we got two different torch size handles there. I believe one's more for your aluminum, a little bit heavier duty amps. One's for your smaller jobs, a little bit smaller stainless steel. Probably everything under 100 amps, don't quote me on that. Probably everything over 100 amps. Carrying handle to be installed. More carrying handles. If you really need to carry the machine, it is relatively heavy. And they sent me a Nova pedal, which is an upgrade from the standard pedal. I do have the Nova pedal on my machine right now. I don't know how good pedals can be, but this one seems to be pretty good compared over the standard. I did try the standard pedal out and it was no good. And a stinger. Can't say that I plan on welding any rod. But I guess it's handy just in case I need to. Gas line, we'll need to hook that up here in a minute. And we do have 240 at the shop, 220, 240, whatever it takes. And I guess you can run this on 120 as well, so it has the adapter if you need it. And a ground clamp, which is pretty sturdy, but we'll need that. And last but not least, it looks like a single-sided regulator. So it won't be useful for back purging or anything, but this will get us off the ground and running. I believe these are relatively standard and pretty good to use. I don't think anyone really has complaints about those. I will say it definitely came with quite a bit of stuff to get me up and running. I don't feel like I have to buy anything to be able to use this machine additionally, besides if you gas to run it. I am surprised to see there is tungsten in here, which usually they don't come with any type of consumables of that nature, but it's pretty impressive to see quite the difference between a gas lens and I think the other one's a gas filter. So pretty happy with that. In a little bit we'll get it all set up and we'll test it and see how she burns. Oh, well, when I bought this feature, I thought it had, or it's supposed to have automatic fans. So essentially it's only supposed to kick on these loud noisy fans whenever you're welding. So right now when it's supposed to be at idle, it shouldn't be fanning. I haven't read the owner's manual yet, so I don't know how to turn those on or off if that's a feature. But it also has a water cooler output, so this can power a water cooler, which is super handy. I haven't quite advanced to that stage of my welding career yet. Essentially, if you weld a little bit longer length than 2 inches where I'm at, your torch will get a little hot, so it keeps it cool in your hands so you can do longer runs. But super happy to get this thing powered on. Now to read the owner's manual so I can figure out which buttons to press. Now that we got everything unboxed, let's go ahead and turn her on and see if we can't get it relatively remotely set up to start welding. So first is power on. There's a fuse / switch in the back. Just flip her up after she's plugged in, and we'll take a look under the hood. This system does have a feature for memory, so it's pretty handy that you can kind of put 8 different saved memories in there. So you can weld, aluminum and save your settings, and switch over to stainless steel and save your settings really quickly without having to switch everything back and adjust on the fly, I guess. So that's memory. We're looking at this big gas purge here. Normally you kind of have to hit your gas pedal or something and apply electricity to the tungsten, and you might false arc. This allows you to press the gas purge and actually run the lines clean if you need to, or get the air out of the line, so that's a pretty handy feature. Big in center here, the 80, that should be my amperage. The scroll wheel here, go up, go down. We've got AS percentage hertz, so that's just indicating what the actual value is on, so we're now A for amps. Just to the right of it, we do have our AC function. So I have advanced square, soft square, and triangular. I'm going to stick in the advanced square, the advanced square setting, and that has a unique feature called advanced AC. What that's going to do is it's going to variable or switch between AC and DC on the high and the low of the frequency change. We also have 2T and 4T. That's mainly used with a switch on the TIG torch itself. I'm going to select pedal for myself. TIG pulse, I'm probably going to leave it on just standard heat and not really mess with the pulse, but as I get a little more advanced I might kind of play around with the pulse settings. We do have a high frequency and a lift TIG start. I personally prefer the high frequency, where you kind of keep a 1/4 inch from your tungsten to the material before it starts. And we have all of the upslope and downslope. I'm going to be working with, to start off, a little bit of DC TIG welding on some stainless steel with a pedal, so I don't need any upslope. That'll be controlled by my pedal. I'll just mess with the main amperage. We'll kind of crank up to 85 to start with. And pulse time, I'm not going to be messing with pulse at the moment. We have our AC balance. We will play with that in a little bit to see if we can arc up on some AC pieces. And then downslope again, pedal. And last but not least, we do have the option to move over to a stick for a little welding, but I'm really going to be doing TIG on this machine. So let's plug some gas into it, plug the torches into it, and we can fire it up and see if this thing can melt some steel.
retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Yeah, we ran out of patience. For your love with a cold hard hatred. I can feel the vibration. Feet in the streets, it's a new sensation. I wanna break faces on the pavement. I wanna make greatness look complacent. Adrenaline awakened, I can taste it. We can make an impact, grab it, then take it.
So this did come with a nice little, let's call it treat that I wasn't expecting, which was these gas filters here. It doesn't normally come with these, but I decided, you know, let's give them a go. It's a little bit different from what I'm used to, so I did end up breaking the first one. Oopsie. I don't want to say unfortunately, but they didn't come with an instruction manual specific to these, so I am going to have to maybe do a little bit more research, but I don't know if I'm a fan of this metal ring on here like I thought I was, because it kind of moves around, so this feels kind of very fragile-y, if you will. So I'm going to have to play with them a little bit, see if I want to stick with these or I have to get my own filter for the front of these. But we'll give them a shot. Let's see if we can get one to start here real quick. Oh yeah.
Welder.
It actually welds better than my other one, even though we're running the same amperage. It just acts like it's got so much more buttery smooth power behind it. Nothing's like holding it back. It's just melting the material like exactly like you want it to. I was running 90 amps on my other one. I'm running 85 now, and it's cutting through it like butter. Super happy with it. I'm gonna have to do some more playing around. It's got a lot more advanced features that I haven't had on my other one. The other one gave me enough confidence to kind of step up to this one, so I'm super happy that I got in the first place, but I'm also super happy now and kind of play around in the next step up with the big guys, well, the medium guys. That should get us a clean enough surface to at least attempt to weld for my first time. For now, we'll just go direct to material. All right, we set it at 75 frequency, 25 balance, and it looks like we can have a little tungsten balling and wide etched and greeny area if we don't quite get the setting right. I don't think anything too crazy is gonna happen other than just an ugly weld. Let's find out. All right, I am a little nervous. This is my first time welding aluminum. I've done my best to kind of read the instruction manual, set up the balance and the frequency appropriate for AC. You feel free to judge me, but I'd rather get a little tips and advice from you guys. I've watched a couple YouTube videos. I'm sure there's plenty that you can suggest, and I would take those recommendations to heart. But again, first time, tell me how I did, or do. Alright, I will say that was slightly a little scary getting started with the frequency change. I'm not used to that noise. I did start seeing the metal dance around a little bit. It seemed like I had a puddle started for half a second, but I don't think I quite did. It did start melting the edge here a little bit, so I'm going to have to play around with it a little bit to actually get this thing, you know, melting and creating a puddle like it should. The good news is I'm not really afraid of it anymore. I'm kind of now aware of what to expect, so now it's time to kind of play with the settings until I can get something that's not a burn mark on a piece of metal. We're going to try it again, same settings, and I'm going to try to pay attention to what happens, and then I'm going to try lowering the frequency, and again, just to see what happens and try to learn the machine that way. All right, going hot. Definitely don't think I have a setting correct. It's not really forming a puddle, and honestly, the arc doesn't seem that stable. So Again, gonna have to play with the settings a little bit, but I feel like the arc should definitely be more stable to be able to control this weld, and it just doesn't seem stable. So I just bumped down the frequency to the lowest setting of 20 on the machine. I wanted to kind of do a drastic change to kind of see if anything's going in the right direction. Hopefully that wasn't too big of a change. I left the balance at 25. We're just gonna test it out, see what happens, see if I can learn something. All right, going hot. That was quite interesting. I don't know if that was right or wrong. Didn't seem stable. Everyone else I watch, it's a constant arc, and that was more of a almost like a frequency pulse, and I don't have pulse turned on. For this one, I bumped up the frequency. I was at 20 in the last one. I think that was definitely the wrong direction. Bumped up the frequency to 100. The first start was 75, so small increase there, and let's kind of keep stepping it up. Balance, I went to 30. The machine recommended 30 on the machine, so we'll keep playing. Going hot. That one sounded a lot better, seemed a lot more controlled. I am noticing my tungsten is just, the tip is just disappearing. So I am melting my tungsten away. Once my tip just goes to a flat area, I lose all arc control. But however, the bump up from 75 or 20, wherever you want to start the number at, to 100 seemed to be in the right direction. So we're gonna bump the frequency up a little bit more and keep playing with it, but I think we're headed in the right direction. All right, this time I bumped up the frequency a little bit more. We're at 125 frequency, and then the balance, I put it back down to 25, and just see if I'm still headed in the right direction. Going hot. The machine seems to be acting a little bit better, so I think we're getting in the right direction. However, I'm not really seeing the puddle form that I'm looking for. However, it does look like, just from my, I mean, they all kind of look the same, really. I'm not going to say one looks better than the other, but the machine is acting a lot more like I expect it to. So we're going to clean this tungsten up again. It's not nearly as melted as the other ones have been. It just needs a little cleanup this time, and we'll keep kind of playing with the settings until we get somewhere. All right, we're at 150, 25. Let's see how she welds. Going hot. Might be doing way too big of a cut for this, but maybe it really shouldn't matter. It just doesn't seem stable for an arc. It seems like it's dancing everywhere and not being exactly where I wanted to. Maybe that's my tungsten sharpening skills. I am doing a very blunt tip on this. All right, well, I've got a lot more settings to play with, but now I'm not necessarily afraid of the machine. I'm kind of understanding what happens whenever I change my frequency and my balance settings, and kind of getting a visualize input when I'm trying these things out. So please share some tips, tell me in the right direction to point, but I'm gonna go through all these settings and read about them in fine detail, whether it's the instruction manual or the interwebs or your guys' comments. So please let me know what I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong. Thanks, guys. It looks so much easier on the internet. Yeah, just turn the machine on, fire it up.